Mayor Roland Dykes.
Here.
Vice Mayor Connie Ball.
Here.
Alderman Mike Hansel.
Here.
Alderwoman Luana Ottinger.
Here.
Alderman Randy Reagan.
Here.
Alderman Steve Smith.
Here.
City Attorney Terry Hurst.
Here.
City Administrator James Simpson.
Here. Thank you. We do have a quorum and can perform this business of the City of Newport. This meeting has been called for three reasons. We have old business that was tabled at the regular session. Item A of that is consideration of resolution number 2024-02, charter change for the City of Newport. When we first considered this resolution, I don't think we had all the facts that we needed to consider what we wanted to do. After some considerable research with our state representative and our state senator in Nashville, and some research with some similar municipalities who own their own utility, we have decided that we want to table this resolution for the time being. It is become incumbent upon me that it is probably not a situation or a battle that we can win. That has been reinforced by our representative and our state senator in Nashville, and by others in Nashville, that they didn't think that it was a good idea at this time. So at this point, again, I think we're going to table this motion for the time being. I welcome any comments from other aldermen if they'd like to comment on this position. Okay, hearing none, we will move on. Item B is consideration of the Newport Fire Department salaries. And do I need to read this into the record, or do you want to? What do you think? Okay. So, it's on you, Chief.
So what the plan will be is to do away with the assistant chief position for the Newport Fire Department, to bring the pay up. And as we look around, the city's fallen behind quite a bit between our neighboring cities and counties in the salaries on that. I mean, we're close to $10,000 right now behind Jefferson City in starting out pay. Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, those departments too, we're kind of in that situation. Some of them even more. Their ranges are $46,000 up to $52,000 a year starting out. So this proposal, we think, will help us to, maybe try to hold on to what we have. I've been chief for 4 years, and we have I've replaced 10 to 11 positions, and I've lost a couple to Gatlinburg and a couple to plants and some other places around for that.
Questions?
I gotta speak. This is not to be argumentative. This is not to stop this in any way, but I have to voice my opinion because James, I've talked. I don't like reducing our services to give a raise, so I would like to request that we keep in mind that if it's possible, as soon as it's possible financially, that we put all these positions that we're discussing tonight back in play. And because I don't like reducing services. I was, up until 2 or 3 days ago, because I thought about it a lot, I guess you can tell by the way I'm talking, I was completely against, because I didn't like giving a raise to with part of the city and not all of the city. It just, to me, the timing's not real good on that. But I have to go back to, I was a department head. I expected this council to trust my decisions for our department. And I trust Chief Lamb and Chief Shelby to be making the right decisions for their departments. That's all I got.
The only thing that I would add to that, and I share Alderman, former Chief Reagan's concerns. He and I worked closely together for many years, and I know that he's true-hearted in his dedication to the fire department. He always fought for his department. He always looked out for their best interest, but he also looked out for the city's best interest. He was able to do that delicate balance that all of us in administration have to do in trying to temper our dedication to our departments with the consideration of the entire city. And this is a case, and I agree with him in principle, it is bad to give up positions that you worked hard to get. And I do agree that down the road, when we're financially stable, we need to look at getting these back. I fully support that and in agreement with him on that. But just for the record, in a department head meeting, I made the same option available to every department, that if they had some way that they could cut their budget and redirect dollars into salaries, that we would look at it. And that, just for the record, I want it to be clear that we didn't just single out these two departments and say, hey, we're going to do this for you, but we're not going to do it for anybody else. We did make that offer to all department heads. So just for the record, I wanted it to be clear that we did try to be as fair as we could be. And some departments were more able, these were more able, especially the police department, because the two positions that they're looking at giving up had been empty for 5 years. We've been that shorthanded for 5 years. So technically, if we can we're 5 short right now. If this money allows us to get back to full staff, even with the 2 gone, we're going to have an increase in services of what we've not had for many years. But I do share your concerns about reduction long-term in services, and I agree with you that we need to get all those back as soon as we can. I agree with you 100% on that.
And Mayor, I had a question.
Okay.
It may have been brought up and cleared up at the regular meeting. When will this take place?
Immediately. Yeah, next Monday.
Because it doesn't say that.
Yeah, next Monday.
So that would need to be in the motion.
Okay. Yeah, it takes effect next Monday.
Gotcha.
Okay. Let's see, Randy, you've already made the motion.
No, we
he just had a comment.
We don't have a motion.
Okay.
I just wanted to be clear on my feelings.
He had a
Okay.
statement.
I'll make a motion to approve Jeremy's proposed salary increases effective Monday.
Thank you.
We need a second. All right, we have a motion on the board then to approve the salary adjustments for the city fire department. It has been properly seconded. Please, we need a roll call.
Alderman Mike Hansel.
Yes.
Alderwoman Luana Ottinger.
Yes.
Alderman Randy Reagan.
Yes.
Alderman Steve Smith.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Tony Ball.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Randy. Item C is consideration of the Newport Police Department salaries.
Good evening, all. I want to thank you for this consideration of our budget. Jeremy covered a lot that I'm going to be covering as well. I had a realization today that sort of hits home. We get calendars to distribute out to the businessmen and things throughout the year. And today, I just took my first look at the calendar, and we got it this week. And off that calendar, I can already mark off 2 people that we've lost in the past month, that we've lost other jobs and other opportunities. It's been a huge burden on the Newport Police Department because we just cannot compete with salaries with the surrounding areas. I'm going to give you some of the salaries of some of the places. Greenville City, $51,389.94. Sevierville City, $50,000. I talked to their administration today, and they said they're possibly getting a 15% raise in July.
Chief, are these starting salaries or?
Yes, starting salaries. Yes. White Pine Police Department, a range of $49,172.50 for somebody that they send to the academy to an employee that's already post-certified to $52,222. Jefferson City Police Department, $50,242. Pigeon Forge Police Department, a range of salary from $49,192 to $57,785 for a certified officer. I just hate it for the guys that I work with. Jeremy and I are not participating in this raise. We need to know that as well. We need to let that be up front as well. This is just for those guys. It's hard for them to compete in this world, and we need good, solid officers here at the Newport Police Department. We have been down, like James, I'm going to reiterate exactly what he said, 5 officers right now. Been down, and we're really down 6 because we've had one gone to the military for over a year. He's due back in March. Hopefully with this is a good start. I look at the $5,000 raise as a tourniquet for us to just stop the bleeding. Stop people from leaving our community, good officers, and we do have all good officers that want to be here and want to contribute. And that's why I'm asking for this proposal.
And for the record, this takes us from a starting salary of 37 to 42. So we're still way below the 50s, about the average of everybody. Now this does catch us up with the Sheriff's Department, who had passed us up, but it does not, it still is far behind what the surrounding agencies are paying.
A lot of our problem we're facing, like our probationary pay for 6 months starts out at $35,984. Is what it is. Our patrolmen, they'll get that for 6 months, and then they go to a patrolman pay, which is $37,793. So basically, the way that when I'm talking to prospects, basically they're going to be making the $36,000 range the first year, is where they're at for a starting salary. And the majority of them, once we tell them that, they go the opposite direction.
Okay, questions?
I had a conversation with a guy today. The pay is at an all-time high right now for law enforcement, and the qualified applicants are probably at an all-time low. So to keep the good people that we have, this needs to be done, no doubt. And I'm going to be a little more descriptive. It's more like putting a Band-Aid on a gushing aorta.
That's true.
And it's only going to, these other places are only going to continue to increase their pay. So if you're having any hesitation, that's something to think about.
Okay, for the presentation, if there's nothing else.
The Sheriff's Department informed me that, and we, I don't want this to sound wrong at all, we have an excellent working relationship with the Sheriff's Department. And we talk, we talk to each other. And when they learned about this, they kind of chuckled and said, well, in July, we're going to try to get to 50. So, they may be passing us up again if they're able to get their raises in July that they're going to try to get in the county's budget for next year. So I just said, good luck. What do you say? They're chasing the same things we are. And until we all get up, when I say we all, the Sheriff's Department and the Police Department, until we can get up to the $50,000 range, we're not competitive. Like he says, we may can hold on to some people, but as far as bringing in new people, we just don't match up. And it comes down to dollars. We just could not afford to jump $13,000 at one lick. This, in looking at ways to do this, this was suggested as a way that some departments had done it. And so we seriously looked at it, and this was just the only way we could come up with right now to give a moderate increase without an increase in tax dollars. We don't want to cut services. We want to provide top-notch services. But right now we're struggling just to provide service. And so, this is a Band-Aid on a gushing wound, no doubt. But it's a minor step on a long journey, and you got to take that first step, and it gets us closer to the goal.
Okay, if there's nothing else, you've heard the presentation. What's the board's pleasure?
I make a motion to approve Scott's recommendation with the...
Taking effect.
It takes effect on Monday.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion on the board to approve the pay raises for the Newport Police Department. Has been properly seconded. Have a roll call, please.
Alderman Mike Hansel.
Yes.
Alderwoman Luana Ottinger.
Yes.
Alderman Randy Reagan.
Yes.
Alderman Steve Smith.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Connie Ball.
Yes.
Thank you.
We are now at a point where if there's anyone here that wishes to be heard on these matters, we will give you a few minutes to do so. If not, we are adjourned.